Hi guys, in today's episode of my declutters, we are going to be tackling my highlighters. I also do have some bronzers in here, and the reason I'm not doing like complexion products and stuff is because I just don't have that many that I have enough to make like dedicated videos on them, especially when it comes to foundations and concealers and powders. I really only have things that I love because it's not something that I like to review. And I've just discovered that about myself, and I'm like, I don't need to buy all these products that I don't really enjoy testing out anyway, and I like using the things that I know work for me. So we're gonna go through my highlighters and some of my bronzers today. All of my bronzers I'm probably gonna keep, but let's just kind of jump in. So I'm gonna put, I think, my face palettes away and save those for last, and we're gonna do all of the singles to start off because in my head, that just kind of makes a little bit more sense. So I think we're just gonna call that good for now. Let's start with this one. This is a bronzer. No, it's not a bronzer, it's a highlighter in the shade Savannah from Sigma. I really like this. I'm gonna hold on to it. I do feel like I'll be getting rid of quite a bit of these because I certainly have my favorites, and I feel like the highlighters that I reach for the most are honestly my Pat McGrath highlighters that are in my blush palettes that you probably saw in the last episode. So I don't need all of these, but I am definitely going to hold on to quite a few of them still because I'm not a minimalist and I like stuff. And I love this highlighter. This is absolutely beautiful. This is from What's Up Beauty. I'm not sure if you can see just how beautiful the imprint on this is. The color itself is a little light for what I would go for in a highlighter. I have, I would say, a light skin tone, light medium in the summer, and this one almost leaves a bit of a white cast on me, but not quite. So it's dark enough that I am going to keep it, but it's not my, I guess, favorite when it comes to the color. The formula is beautiful though. Here is a highlighter from ColourPop. This is in the shade Mr. Glowing? No, You're Glowing. Wow, I can't read. I'm gonna get rid of this one. I don't love ColourPop's powder highlighters. I find them a little too powdery. They look a little too powdery on the face. I think I want them to be a little bit more kind of wet looking and sparkly maybe, and these are just a little bland for me. So I am going to get rid of my first one here. Now, this is one that last time I decluttered, I kept this. It's a spinning cat from ZZ, and it's like the cutest thing ever, but like realistically, I just don't use it. So I'm gonna declutter it. I don't think it's pretty enough to really keep on display. It's more like a novelty thing in that like it's cool to have, but I'm not someone who likes having a bunch of stuff around that I don't enjoy using. So I am going to get rid of that one. I think the time has also come to get rid of one of my Kaleidos highlighters. I used to have the whole range and I only have a couple left, and I think my collection is going to be even smaller after this. This is the shade called Diamond Dasher. It's a really pretty sort of neutrally highlighter, but I have others that kind of get the job done that I don't feel like I need to keep this. Here's a newer to me highlighter, and this is from Artitude Cosmetics. They did send me this in PR. This is a stunning multi-chrome highlighter, and I'm definitely going to keep this. I'm sorry I'm not doing a ton of swatches. I don't feel like my lighting setup here is the best for swatches, and so I feel like I'm only gonna swatch things that I am questioning whether or not to keep, but I'm very familiar with most of the products in my collection that I don't feel like I necessarily need to. And I think that I'm better at making decisions than a lot of people. Like, I'm not as emotionally attached to my stuff, I guess you could call it. So I tend to like have a pretty easy time getting rid of stuff that I don't genuinely love. And this is one that I really do like. I'm gonna keep this. It's the, what are you called? Darlin Nikki's highlighter from Sugar Drizzle. This is really pretty. Again, a multi-chrome highlighter. Absolutely love it. I love how small it is. So very happy to be keeping that in my collection. Here's a highlighter from Flower Nose. And I mentioned in my blush declutter that they actually sent me their whole new collection, and I haven't done anything with it because life has been kind of shitty lately, and I didn't have it in me to film when I got the package, and now I don't even know if people want to see it anymore. But this highlighter, the compact, is absolutely stunning, like out of this world beautiful. The color is too light for me. It leaves a white cast, and I don't love these very kind of silvery looking highlighters on my skin tone. I just don't find it to be very flattering. So for that reason alone, I think I'm going to declutter this, but I'm going to keep it in my keep pile just in case I do end up doing something with this collection. So I'm going to hold on to it for a little bit and just give myself some time, and then maybe I will do something with it, and if I do with that collection, I want to keep it and have it on hand so I can show it. So here's another one of the Art2 Cosmetics highlighters, and I'm going to keep this one as well. I don't remember which one of these was my favorite. I think it was... See, I am actually going to swatch this because one of them I didn't really like because I found it to be a little too powdery. But now that I swatched this, I'm like, that is actually very pretty. But I think this is the one that I don't love. So let me just go ahead and swatch the other one next to it as well, because I am going to get rid of one of these because I just, yeah, this is the one that I really like. Oh yeah, like these are night and day when it comes to formula. I don't think you can see that well, but this one is just like a thicker, a lot more powdery formula that I did not really enjoy that one that much. So that one's gonna go. I'm gonna keep the shade called Transition because this one is my favorite. I also had this Nabla highlighter just laying on the side here. I am going to keep this one as well. It's a very, I guess you could say, subtle neutral highlighter, but I do like it. It's the shade called Privilege. I don't use it that much, but I like it enough that I want to keep it around for a bit longer. Here we have a highlighter from Ofra. This is one of their holiday ones from a few years ago. It's called Peppermint. I think this is the one that I really liked from that. No, it's not. I'm going to declutter this one. I found that a lot of the Ofra highlighters are, again, very light on me, and they almost leave that kind of white cast that I don't love. So I only keep the Ofra highlighters. I do get sent a lot of them in PR. I only keep the ones that I think I'm gonna like and try those out. If there are any that are too light, I will usually just give them away right away and like not even show them. This one I tried and it was a little too light, so I am going to now get rid of that one. This is a very new to me highlighter. This is a collab that they did with La Dura, which I don't know who that creator is, but she is of a darker skin tone, and this is in the shade Beach. I haven't actually used it yet, but it looks like a color that I could possibly get away with. Maybe it's a little dark based, but I definitely want to try it because I think that Ofra has a beautiful highlighting formula, but a lot of their colors just don't work on me. So I am happy to have that one still in my collection and test that out. Here is the Samantha March bronzer that she did in collab with them. I'm going to keep this because I think it's a really nice product, and I also really like Samantha, so that one is going to stay. This is my absolute favorite highlighter from Ofra. This is the shade called Sugar Cookie, which is also from that same holiday collection that the Peppermint one was from. This one is also more of a darker based highlighter, but this one works really well for me, and I am excited that I have this in my collection still, and I really want to get some more use out of that one. My last Ofra highlighter here that I have is also the Samantha March collab that they did. I don't really feel like this one suits me, so I think I am going to let this one go. This one is definitely too light for me. I just don't like how these colors look on my skin tone, and I think they look beautiful on other people, but I don't like the look of that very light highlighter on myself, so I am going to declutter this and just like, you know, keep the bronzer that I have because I still have that memory from her that I want to have in my collection. Oh my god, this one is the finishing powder in the shade Deep. I use this as a bronzer pretty much every day for like, I don't know, 6 months maybe when I got this, and it's so pretty, and I forgot I had it. So I will definitely start using that again because it is a really, really pretty product, and even though it's not advertised as a bronzer, it works really well as a glowy but not too glowy product, and I think it's just stunning. I have another bronzer here, and this is the medium shade from Sigma. I really like this one as well, so I am going to keep it. You'll see that I really don't have a lot of bronzers in my collection. I think we're actually getting to the bottom of the bronzers here. I have the Bronze Nirvana shade from Pat McGrath, which has been my go-to ever since I bought it. I have used this, I think, every day for the past 2 months. Like, can you tell I go through phases? Like, I'll buy something and then be completely obsessed with it until I buy something else I end up really liking, and then I switch to using only that. And I need to be better at rotating the products that I do have, but this is my current favorite. Just the most beautiful, sort of warm without being too warm toned color for someone of my skin tone. So easy to build and blend, and it just performs beautifully, and I love it. I think this is my last of the bronzer products that we have. This is one of the Contour Trios from Kaleidos. This is in the shade Light. I'm gonna keep this. I think I had the medium one somewhere too, but I honestly don't know where that is. If I do find that one, I'll probably keep that one too, because I do really like the formula on this one, and the colors work well for me, even though in the summer, if I get a bit of a tan, they're leaning a little too light, but I can definitely get away with using this in the colder months. Let's get back to highlighters. I have one here from Lethal. Is this a highlighter or is it a blush? It's a highlighter. I don't love Lethal's powder products in general, like face products. I don't know what it is about them. They just don't really work for me. They're a little on the powdery side, and the colors of the highlighters just don't really suit me that well. I think I'm in the minority because most people seem to like them, but I am going to get rid of this one as well. I think it's time to say goodbye to Mars Melter from Kaleidos, even though I had a really good time with this one. This is the updated version. This one came a little bit shattered in the mail, as you can see, but I have highlighters in similar colors and formulas that I like just as much, if not more, and I just don't need all of them. Oh my god, this one. I've struggled so much with this one. This is the Illumination. Don't come for me, okay? Highlighter from Melt. It is the skull imprinted one that is just so pretty to look at, but I just don't love the formula of it. And I said last time I decluttered, I'm gonna give it another year, see if maybe I want to keep using it. I haven't used it since. It's just gonna have to go. I guess it's just not meant to be, which is fine. Not everything needs to be meant to be. Here is another Lethal product, and that is an empty compact, so I'm gonna put that in my, just, you know, put it aside to put something else in if I feel like it. This is my only Half Magic highlighter. I love this thing. This is so pretty. This is in the shade Light Trap. It is such a pretty, kind of peachy, neutrally highlighter with a beautiful sheen to it. It doesn't have any like sparkles really, but it just looks really nice and glowy and reminds me a lot of the Pat McGrath highlighting formula that I absolutely love. So I'm very happy to be keeping this one. I'm also going to be keeping this one from Kaleidos as well as this one. I love their multi-chrome highlighters. I think that they are stunning. One of them I've even hit pan in, which that is insane for me because I don't hit pan in anything, but this is the gifted one. I think this is the newer of the two, and we have this one, which is the Prophecy one. You can tell I've used the shit out of this. Like, I've used this so much and I love it. So I'm gonna be sad the day that this runs out, but I will enjoy my last days with it because I think it is a beautiful highlighter. I have another highlighter here from Sigma, and I'm gonna declutter this one. This one's a little too light for me. This is a shade called Twilight. Just not really my thing, I guess you could say. This one I'm torn on. This one is from Florasis, and they did send me this in PR. It was not a sponsored video or anything like that. Oh, the imprint is so pretty, and I do really like the colors, but I think my complaint with this is that the pan sizes are a little too small to be face products. Like, it's really hard to get your brush into like only one of these. This powder I never used. The highlighter is okay. I do really like the bronzer and the blush though, but I think because I don't love every single shade in here, and because they do annoy me a little bit when I use them, I'm gonna let this one go and just give it to someone that I know will love this, and I have a couple of people in mind that I can give this to, so that one is gonna get a new home, but it is a really, really beautiful product. So I've been kind of saving the wooden side highlighters for last year, but I think I'm gonna make a tough decision to let go of all of these because I just don't use them. And I also just find them a little bit annoying to store, if I'm being honest, because of like the round shape. They just kind of, I don't know, fly around. And the colors are really pretty, but I just don't use them. I just don't use them. And also I think it's because the compacts on the outside look exactly the same, so I don't know like which is which, and then I have to like look on the back, and you can't really see on the back what the color is unless you remember what the shade name is, and so it's more of a hassle to like try to find the one that I really like. So maybe I'll keep one of them. This is the blue one. I'm gonna declutter that one. I don't really ever use a blue highlighter. Ooh, this one is really pretty. Damn, why did I open these? I do think the one I'm gonna keep is probably this one, but let me go ahead and just open the other ones as well. That's a green one. I don't use green highlighter very often, even though it is really, really beautiful. This one's a little too subtle for me. And this one is a blue one as well, like a blue-green one. So I'm gonna go ahead and keep this one, and I'm gonna declutter the other ones. This is the shade called Rose Sky, so it's more of a peachy, pinky color, which is more up my alley. So all of these are going to go. And you also can't buy these anymore, so I don't feel too bad about getting rid of those. We're gonna go into the face palettes that I have here, my highlighting palettes, and this is one from Suva that they sent me. They're called the toppers, but I don't like this formula at all. It's too chunky, it's too dry, it doesn't look good on the eyes or the face, so I'm just gonna get rid of this because I have so many more iridescent shadows I really like. This one I'm just very confused by. This is a new highlighting palette from Fantasy Cosmetica. It came with their newest collection, and like, these are not highlighters. Like, I'm sorry, these are way too pink and purple to be highlighters. And I haven't even swatched this because I know myself and I know I'm never going to use these on the face. And I'm gonna see if I can just give this to someone else brand spanking new, because they're too shiny to be blushes for me and they're too dark to be highlighters. So I just don't really know about this release. I think it's very strange. Like, I get it, like, they're pretty colors, but like, they're not user friendly. I don't know. Let me know. What would you do with this? Like, do you have this palette? How do you use it? Let me know, because I am just confused. Oh, if you're wondering why my, oh my god, my Blend Bunny highlighting palette is not here, it's because I brought it on a trip last time I went, and when I opened it, when I got to my destination, the mirror had cracked and I was too paranoid to like continue using it because I didn't know if there was like glass shatters in the shadows in the actual highlighter. Since I use them on my eyes a lot, I couldn't deal with it. So I bought a new palette, which is on its way. It's the Noctilucent palette. You guys know I love that palette so much. It's actually, I think it got delivered yesterday. So I have it, but just like not on hand right here. I think it's in the mailbox. So if you're wondering why that wasn't here, that's why. And I did buy a replacement because that is how much I love it. So that should say a lot. And that one is going to be replacing this one, which is the Oracle palette from, I think this is Bella Beauty Bar, right? I think this palette is okay, but I unfortunately have hard pan in a couple of these shades. This one up here, and I know a lot of people say that they haven't had that problem, so maybe it's just me. I think it's a really pretty palette, but I just end up using my Blend Bunny one more because I like those colors more. I don't know. I don't need two iridescent highlighting palettes is I guess what I'm trying to get at. So I am going to let go of that one. This is the Rick and Morty highlighting palette from Glamlight. These are pretty, but I don't really use these colors that much, so I am going to let go of them. Also because these are just very similar to 3 of the Blend Bunny ones, and I know I love the Blend Bunny formula, so that one is gonna go as well. This one is the Scooby-Doo highlighting palette from Glamlight. I don't know why I'm not on their PR list anymore. Maybe because I keep decluttering their products. No, but for real though, like, I just all of a sudden got taken off their PR and I never got a package again. And I don't know why, because my code with Glamlight did really well. Can I just say that? It did really, really well. So I'm surprised that I guess so many other people's codes are doing better or something. I don't know. I'm sad and confused. And yeah, so I don't know. I think I'm gonna let go of this one too. I swear I like Glamlight's products, but I like their eyeshadows more than I like their face products. These are pretty, but they're so big. Like, this whole thing could have been like 6 pans. Like, who needs this much iridescent highlighter, you know? Like, it would have been so much more versatile if there were 6 shades in here. I would have kept this right away, but like, just because there's only 2, I don't know, it's just, it annoys me. This one is from Sugar Drizzle, and it's their version of a iridescent palette. I'm gonna keep this one because these are, I feel like, more special than the Bella Beauty Bar ones, that they actually came out around the same time. Now, these are more multi-chrome iridescent highlighters with like very strong shifts to them. They're beautiful as inner corner shades. They're also really pretty on the face, but on the face they confuse me a little bit because you don't always know what you're gonna get with these until you put them on the face, because they look differently in the pan depending on the lighting than they do if you're putting it on your face and the light is hitting that in a different way. So it can be a little confusing knowing like what color is actually going to end up on your cheek, but I think this is absolutely, I really like the formula of these. They're very much that sort of putty Super Shock formula that Colourpop has in their Super Shock highlighters, and I really like these. I think they're beautiful. Now, I'm very torn on these because I used to love my Unicorn Cosmetics highlighters, and I still do, but since I have the Blend Bunny palettes, like, do I really need these? Like, these are so pretty, and it hurts me to let go of them because I genuinely like them, but I also have not reached for them in so long. Like, these colors I never wore that often, but these four, oh my god, I used this one so much. This is a shade called Electric. Oh my god, I remember using that like almost every day when I first got it. This one is beautiful as well. I wish I could put these into single compacts, but I don't know if I have single compacts. Hold please. I just remembered that I found this little boy when I was doing my blush declutter. So I'm gonna keep one of them because it fits perfectly in here. And even though this one's my favorite, it's almost exactly the same as one in the Blend Bunny highlighting palette. So I'm not gonna keep this one. Just wanna see what the name of this one is. This is the shade called Luster. Okay, I think I have something very similar. I'm gonna keep this one because I don't have a lot of shades like this in my collection. And I think it is just beautiful. So that one's gonna go in here, and I'm actually going to declutter both of these. I'm not gonna get rid of the empty palettes, but the products inside I am going to let go of, and I'm gonna keep this one. And now I'm gonna be more likely to reach for this because it's on its own, and yeah, I'm gonna see it more because I know I have it now. So let's see. Like I said, in my blush declutter, I'm not much of a numbers person, but I will show you kind of the volume of stuff that we are keeping versus getting rid of. So this is my keep pile, and this is my declutter pile. I feel like I actually decluttered more than I kept in the highlighting department, which I'm happy about. Also keep in mind that my bronzers are in here as well. So this is all I have left of highlighters and bronzers, and I'm very happy about that because this drawer was very full, let's just put it that way. So I'm happy with that result. I'm excited to keep filming my declutters. I think I'm gonna oh my god, I need to tackle my lipsticks. Oh, I'm not so excited anymore because it's gonna be so overwhelming. But it really needs to be done. Like, that is the category that I really need to cut down on. And I did a lipstick declutter. It hasn't even been that long, and I got rid of probably 70% of my lip products. But I swear brands just love sending you like full ranges of lip products, and my drawer is overflowing. And I probably use the same lip products, like 10 lip products on rotation. So I'm gonna go ahead and tackle this. If you wanna see some other declutters that I've done, put my playlist up on the screen. And if you're new, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.